Hey everyone, it's Sue from This Girl Preps. How are you doing today? It is Tuesday, July 26, 2022, and I am here with a list of hints and tips that I have come across in my time of prepping. Some of them are from fellow YouTubers, and some that I have developed myself, and hopefully these will help some new preppers as well as maybe be a reminder to some career preppers. So anyway, the first on my list is probably the prepper motto or the prepper creed. One is none and two is one. And all that means is to have a backup to your backup to your backup. I'm trying to think. Oh, for example, you have an emergency, something's going on, and you need to cook some food, and you have one can opener. Well, your can opener breaks. There you go. Your one is none. So one is none, two is one. Number two, only stock what you eat, what you like. Chances are, if you are in a situation where you have to eat out of your prepper pantry, you're going to be highly stressed. Your family's going to be stressed. And the last thing you want to do is have to come in, fix something that you do not like. So be sure just to prep and stock up what you like to eat. And these are in no particular order. These are just as I thought of them. I wrote them down on a list. So number three, eat from your pantry. Don't be afraid to eat from your pantry. Don't keep the stuff there and just only in case of an emergency. If you eat from your pantry, you get to rotate through your stock, and as you replace what you eat, replace it with one more. So if you eat a can of peas, replace it with 2 cans of peas. That way you're constantly stocking up, building up your preps. Number 4, a fire extinguisher. Be sure that you have a fire extinguisher and have 2 of them. Because if there's an emergency situation, a grid down, you've had a storm, your electric's out, phone service is out, you're not going to be able to contact the fire department. And you want to be on top of that as fast as you can. So have a fire extinguisher, which actually I realized I only have 1 fire extinguisher myself. So this week it's on my list to get another fire extinguisher. And familiarize yourself with it. Learn how to use it. Hold it, practice with it. That way, it's just one of those things. You're prepped. You're prepared. Carbon monoxide detector. Be sure you have a carbon monoxide detector, and preferably battery operated, because once again, if you have a storm in the wintertime, snow knocks the electric out, you have to use your backup heating, whether it be a kerosene heater, your little buddy, Mr. Buddy heater. You want to be sure you have a carbon monoxide detector, and like I said, a battery operated one, because if the electric is out, the one you have plugged into your wall is not going to work. Now, there may be some that I think that are electric, that plug into the wall, that have battery backup. If so, make sure your batteries are good. So test them or change them twice a year. But it's very important. Carbon monoxide detector, and a battery operated one. Next, I have recipes. All of us have Pinterest and recipes online. They're not going to do you any good if the electric is out. So I suggest you get a binder. Either write your recipes out or print them out. That way you have them in case of an emergency and you can't access your Pinterest. Emergency binders. I'm coming up with some emergency binders. I have one here. This is the first one I've started. This is my nuclear binder. And in this I have different not scenarios, but tips. I've printed them off websites, FEMA, I think. There's actually like what to do in case of a nuclear emergency, and I actually will probably maybe do a separate video on this whole binder, but you know, there's different things in here. I've got different tabs. I have to sort it through, but and then in the front here I have my ISAT tablets, and there's a paper back, some papers back there on how to use the ISAT tablets. So have emergency binders for different emergencies. I'm in a hurricane zone, so I may come up with a hurricane one or an EMP. I'm not sure, but with what's going on lately, the nuclear binder is what I decided to come up with first. So once I get that done, I may do a separate video on that. How-to books. If we all get online, go to YouTube and watch videos on how to prepare your car, how to fix your car, how to build something, how to fix something. But as I said before, if the electric is down, the grid's down, how are you going to learn to do that? You know, so there are like old, I have some books cut. These are like the Lost Ways, Country Wisdom and Know-How. And in there it just tells you how to do simple things that we all might not know how to do. Gardening books, recipe books. One thing, this is one of my favorite things that I learned from, I think I read it in a comment on one of the YouTube videos that I was watching. Empty detergent bottles. Don't throw them away. You know, when you got as much laundry detergent out as you can, there's still some in there. So fill them up with water. And these are actually very nice with a little spout, but I have the other ones that I've filled up. And use these for cleaning, for washing, instead of having to use your drinking water that you have stockpiled. You'll have this. This saves you your drinking water. So, you know, this can sit on the edge of a table. I don't know if you can see this or not. And you got your little spout. This would have been great when we were camping, when the girls were kids, and just put this on the picnic table and they could have washed their hands. You know, anybody that camps, that would be a good idea. But this is one of my favorite ideas that I've come across. But so this, like I said, this helps saves you from using your precious drinking water, because when an emergency comes, water is going to be a hot commodity. Self-waterers and feeders for your pets, for your cats and your dogs. And actually, there's Cole back there, if you see him, my little cat. When I was researching the nuclear preparedness, after the event happens, you need to stay indoors for a certain amount of time. I don't know how it's at least 3, 4, 5 days. I'm not sure. So I got thinking, what if my animals are home? You know, I've thought about that. So I came up with these little bought these little waterers and feeders, so that it'll last them hopefully 3, 4, 5 days if I'm not home, because it's just like everything else. You know, there's the rule of 3. There's 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. So in the nuclear handbook or whatever, you stay in whatever place that you are when the event happens for at least, I think it's at least 3, 4 days until the nuclear fallout subsides, and then see if it's safe. But anyway, while you're gone, if you're not home if that happens, what happens with your dogs and your cats that you're not home? So self-waterers and feeders for your pets. Pre-packaged meals in these and in bags. I was listening to Alaska Granny, and she had an idea. This is just an example. Have your meal, like for chili, you know, have your beans, your cans of beans, your meats, your chili mix, and a recipe in the bag. And that way, if you're really rushed for time, you're frazzled, just really can't think, you can just grab this bag. It's got all the ingredients for your meal. It's a no-brainer, and it's one less thing you have to think about. So I thought that was a great idea. Thank you, Alaska Granny. um, let's see. Practice with your gadgets. This is something I need to do. Like I have a little rocket stove. I need to practice with my little buddy heater, my camp stove. It's practice with your gadgets so that way you are prepared for when, if and when an emergency happens. It's just one less stressful thing you have to deal with. Let's see, and have an alternate way of doing things, like an alternate way to cook your food, an alternate way to heat your home, an alternate way for your water collection, an alternate way to wash clothes. I recently bought a, what do they call, a washboard for your clothes, and last summer we put up a clothesline, so we have a way to wash and dry our clothes if we need to. Have multiple ways of cooking if you have an electric stove. And actually I did a video about a month ago of alternate ways that I have of cooking. And water collection, because we can only store so much water, and we live in reality, so have an alternate way and practice doing that, so that way when you're in an emergency situation, you're not having to stress out like, oh my gosh, how do I do this? So anyway, guys, that's all I have. Thank you for watching, and if you have any other tips, it would be great to learn, because I'm always wanting to learn more. And I hope this helps someone, and you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Bye.